And I'm here with Drunk Sports, your boy Kid Chocolate, getting here and spreading love and knowledge, man, and making awareness for everything that we're doing right here with Drunk Sports. God bless y'all.
God bless. Well, we know he's going up to 154. He said that before. Terrence is kind of still on the fence. He still hasn't dropped the belts, so he's still, weighing his options. And when we think about 147 now, we think about, or at least I don't think about Crowley. I don't think about Stanionis. I don't think about Santillan. I think about Boots Ennis, Philly's finest. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I'm upset with the way they move in Boots, man, because I was talking to my man the other day, and we were like, "Yo, Boots is phenomenal, man. He's exceptional. He's a talent we haven't seen in a long time, right? But they moving him like a snail. Lomachenko, they fast tracked the shit out of Lomachenko when he first came around, right? Even though he had the extended amateur career. David Morrell, it seems like they fast tracking him like crazy, even though he's PBC and we got discrepancies with the Amazon, like A said, and the limited amount of dates. But he's getting a lot of TV time. Where's Boots at, man? Rest in peace to Cameron Duncan. I know he's being represented by him. He's now being represented by Steven Espinoza. He's I guess he's consulting or something like that. Showtime is gone. You hear Eddie Hearn kind of lobbying as of late to sign him. I like it. I think Eddie will try to push him. I don't know how thick they are at 147 over there, other than maybe I know who they got, Connor Ben, Pistol Pete Dobson. You got a couple of guys there, but nothing that makes me go, yo, this is crazy. He need to get in there. I think he needs to go to 154, but let me go to what do you think? Where do you think Boots is going? Are they fucking his career up? And where are we gonna see him at this year?
Well, first things first, Boots right now is in the same position of all them other guys over there at PBC, and we talked about this a few shows ago.
Yeah.
Now, with no network deal, anybody from over there, you have to consider signing with whoever, can present the network opportunity. So boom, you talk about Eddie Hearn. He's been wanting to court Boots Ennis for a while, right?
Yeah.
Eddie also got a little bit of a rapport with Bozy, because Bozy is training Andy Cruz, and Andy Cruz is over there.
Yeah.
So
I like Cruz too. I like Cruz a lot.
So at this point, it will be smart of Boots to go on over there instead of waiting to be walked over there by PBC. You see what I'm saying? Like at this point, and I think so. So am I beating up PBC? Maybe unfairly, but I've been armed with some ammunition. A shout out to the Boxing Voice, of course. I call that the motherland. I'm on an interview with the veteran Michael Zarafa out of Australia, and he was talking about how he was held up by PBC because of they still trying to give him a fight, the winner of Danny Garcia and Edson de Lara. The fight never happens. So he's contracted to get the winner on fight on that card, but he's also restricted from fighting. Now, we know boxing can be whatever it is, but you figure who the hell want to get caught up in that? But you essentially have no choice. So if Boots, it was smart, he'd go over to Matchroom and see what Eddie got to offer, because waiting around for PBC to do something for you when that's already how they was doing jokers, it don't seem like it's going to make much sense. So I guess you asked the question, is PBC fucking up his career? Not yet, but they have the potential to. He better get.
Well, he's not even technically. He's not PBC, right? He had a Showtime deal, I thought, right?
I maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know.
I don't know. Like his shit's unclear to me. He was with Cameron Duncan, right? And yeah, his shit's weird over. He's like affiliated with them. Like he's on some of it was on some of their cards, right? But Hey, Adrian, what do you think?
I think the main thing is just keeping him busy, because him knocking out the guy who knocked out Speedy, that made him look really dangerous again, especially after he had that debacle with Stanionis, just having a long, drawn out fight with a guy who Crawford and Errol, got down on a lot faster. Stanionis caused problems for them too, but he made Boots turn into almost a strictly a boxer. My thing for him is this though. If you go to Matchroom,
wait, you talking about Lipinets?
Yeah, Lipinets.
Okay,
yeah.
Lipinets. Okay, yeah.
Remember Lipinets? He the one that dropped. Well, they didn't call it a knockdown with Crawford, but it was a knockdown with Crawford.
Yeah.
So, when you fight a tough fight and a guy who everybody thinks you should run through makes you look like an average boxer who won the fight but not comfortably, then all of a sudden your stock drops for some reason in boxing still. But let's not get it tangled. Boots is still a monster. 154 it's gonna have to wait because who he's chasing is not going to fight him. Crawford is not going to fight him. Errol is not going to fight him. They both moved to one. Keith Thurman is not going to fight him. So all the people that you would give an opportunity to get a name, no. And Thurman is smart because he knows my big payday and heyday is going to be with either Errol or Boot or Terrence, who he dumped most of his career and called out after the Pacquiao loss. So Boots needs to, and I'm not going to knock PBC because they got fighters over there that they can get that they can, they can have Boots fight and get busy with.
The dates, that's the issue.
Yeah.
They got 14 dates on Prime. How many fighters do they have? Not to cut you off. 100 plus?
Or you mean like how many are coming over, or what you mean? Like,
I mean, they got at least 30, 40 primetime fighters, right? That need dates, right? At least, right? That's probably on the lower side. And if I'm not mistaken, don't they have 14 dates for Amazon Prime right now? Maybe they're doing a deal with another network, but I don't see how something's not adding up to me.
Because all those fighters that's not a part of that 14 dates, I'm telling you, they gotta be walked over to the network. So if you make a fighter, they're gonna encourage you to make that fight with the top ranked fighter. And by the way, top rank, here you go. Take them in the 2-fight deal. You gotta fight the fighter match, go over there. There you go. Take them for a 2-fight. They got to get rid of those guys because there's no more room for them. And if they do it in a straightforward way, because in other words, don't let me sitting on the sidelines or in the back peeking through the curtains and figure this shit out. And you a fighter and you can't figure this shit out.
Well, most of their major got like Tank is big time, so he doesn't have to. He's paid for it. He's and they've got fighters like that are big time. David. For instance, is he just beat my man Andre. Andre, who is not under contract with them, but I would book him under contract and make him drop one weight class and get back to that 160 action. There's plenty of action for him there that the people will look at. Because Janderbeck is starting to build a name where him and Andre would be a good fight. The other Charlo at that weight would be a good fight. Charlo versus a Boots would be a really good fight, and they got a little friction, and that's only a few pounds. Well, that's 160 is a stretch, but you're talking going 154. You might as well just add the 6 pounds, just go on and do it. Your body's built for it. Your power's there.
I think he just jump up to 54. I'm looking at the rankings right now, like 147, especially if he's with Eddie, is thin.
Yeah,
now, you know what I'm saying?
I would call for a unification.
You could do a deal with Rocha, maybe?
Rocha don't want to fight him. Call for a unification for all the belts. If they don't give you the unification, they've got to vacate over a time. Even if it's email, get your belts. After you get your belts, get out of there and go to 154, 160. And really, 160 is where the action's at, because no one is going to fight him at 154. No one wants to fight him at 147. 160, they'll say you too little, and I think his power and boxing skills will carry over at 160.
See, I think Boots is going to be stuck doing something similar to what happened to Bud. Remember, we questioned Bud's resume because a lot of cats wouldn't fight him. And Adrian, you said He he came back looking dangerous after the win over Roman Villa. So now, if he goes to Matchroom, he'll have a Michael Mickinson, at welterweight. He'll also have that Conor Ben opportunity. You mentioned that one, Cash. And
Chris
then
Eubank.
Chris Eubank, you know what I'm saying? They
Eubank.
can mess around. And even though he's over at Boxer, once they get him to the UK, I think it presents more opportunities. So suppose it's now from there. I think you mentioned to some of the Golden Boy fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Arocha.
Yeah.
They don't want to fight him.
Who's Crowley with now?
He's so good and not a big enough name. You can't get no fight. You like Andre was, which is why Andre had to take a chance with a dude that's really a cruiserweight. and then you put on a good effort, but you get dropped because you fight a damn cruiserweight. When really you're supposed to be in there with Canelo, you're supposed to get it on, and you're supposed to leave it at that and leave David alone until he moves up into the higher divisions.
The email thing and everything, I don't particularly like that, but hey, that's what it is. Boxing is right now. But I'm looking at the IBF route right now, right? He's been elevated. First and second spot is vacant. Then you got Crowley third, Stantillion, who Ness is always talking about. I like. Then you got Spence at 5. Spence probably going up to 54. Roman Villa, he's already fought. You got Alexis Rocha there, Jamal James. Like, there's no sexy names for him at this point. You know what I mean?
You want to fight Speedy? He could fight Speedy just because Speedy appeared to have beaten Roman Villa. He just got dropped in the process. But I mean, who does he fight besides Speedy Rashidi Ellis or who at 147?
Here's what people are thinking, right? And I kind of agree with this. If you don't go with Eddie, what's the kid? Azteca Warrior.
Mario Barrios.
Yeah, Mario Barrios. Barrios was just elevated to interim WBA, right? And they're waiting to see what Terrence does. Like the whole division is being held up in terms of the belts by Terrence right now. So he's elevated to WBA. Boots is the IBF. You know, what if we do like a unification? Let's say Terrence goes to 154. He's elevated to regular. Then they unify. What do you think about that? I mean,
I don't think, with all due respect to Mario Barrios, with all due respect, you know what they motherfucker do once they say with all due respect, it appears that they say something disrespectful. But no, I just don't think, as Mario Barrios is on a comeback. Let that man continue to come back and be a draw in San Antonio. He's on his second wind of a career at welterweight. Nah, man. Boots Ennis is not what he wants or needs right now. Yeah, that ain't it for him, man. That ain't it for him. I'm telling you. Send him over there, give him some names. I know these names aren't sexy, but give him a Suleiman Sissoko, a French guy. He's a welterweight, got a WBC silver. You know what I'm saying? You got to send Boots across the water when things are not good over here. Don't you remember back in the day, some of our greatest entertainers, they ain't get no love stateside, and they had to go over to Europe. Jimi Hendrix didn't become Jimi Hendrix until he went over to Europe. And
he's
then he
ranked number 2 WBC too. Yeah, ranked number 2.
Suleiman Sissoko, right?
Yeah.
Come on now. That's a good name to go over there, get you some recognition. And they say, oh, this is the chap we've been hearing about, Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Let him get some of that love, man.
I think you're right, because the money is in Europe, if nothing else. So if I got to fight bums, not bums per se, but if I got to fight boxers who don't have the notoriety, then I might as well get paid while I'm doing it. And Matchroom Eddie can definitely make that happen. Eddie's not going to get you to fight. You've seen that with Andre. Eddie's not going to get you
100%.
the big match.
Eddie could never get him the big fight. That's a great point. Yep.
But he will get you paid. And but Andre was fighting for $1.7 million for all his title fights. So, and then for big fights, they were saying, here, we got $7 million, what you want to do? And Charlos wasn't trying to take.
And Eddie will cross the street too. He does good business with Bob Arum. I know him and Oscar always talking shit, but I think if it came down to it, they're both in the zone. So I think those fights would be, fairly easy to make. I don't think he does too much with Al Heyman, but we don't know what Al and them is doing, man. Like, but But yeah, man, I'm a little. I want to see Boots, man. I want to see Boots get in there, man. And he's not getting the Crawford fight. He's not getting the Bud fight. Let's make, regardless of what he does, he needs to be fighting 3 times a year at least.